Daily, not just on Sunday, not just enough to get through today, but the overflow of your presence. Thank you, Jesus. Can we just lift our voices, lift our hands? Just tell him, I need your presence, Lord. Sing this out together this morning. Who is like you, Lord, in all the earth? Matchless love.
Here we go. Craig, Greg, Ricky. If you see it, share it. Share the video. Share the link. Wait a couple of minutes, guys. Emma, Mike, Brenda, Casey. Evening, Jono. Michael, how are you? Emma. Just wait a couple of minutes, guys, and then we'll crack on. Mark. Shout out to the Crusaders Ladies SC from Bourneville. Great win, 2-1 today. Well done, ladies. Mike, evening Magic, evening Jay. Hi Jane, try my best. Try my best. Luke, evenings. Give it a couple of minutes, guys, and then we are ready to rock and roll. Mike, life's good. Very good. Leslie, how are you? Hopefully your week, as time goes by, gets a little bit easier. Brenda, my God, no, tell me. I got no Blues Cup this week. What I have got, no Blues Cup. No Blues Cup this week. Okay, let's get ready to roll.
Come on, just begin to speak that out today. Lord, we desire you. We desire your presence, Lord. We're not here just for a service or just to sing songs, God.
Yeah, it's still gone. It's there. Evening, Craig. Yes, big. Okay. So what a interesting week it's been today. Hard time saying goodbye, Leslie. I know. I can only emphasize with you how tough that must be, that you've lost your husband. Send on my condolences and hope and pray that the support that you get from family and friends will help you through this tough time, Leslie. So great guy he was, really good guy, and you have my sincere condolences. And what a tough week it's been on the back of Trump getting in, which has been very interesting. Very interesting how things are starting to play themselves out. But today we are going to speak on the words. But before we start, if you've got a chance to share this, please do share or press the notification button as well. Mark, how are you? Good to know that you are well. Prayers have been fulfilled for you, pal. So good to know that you're up and around and walking. So today we are talking about words. What are words? Where do words come from? It's so easy when you talk and you just produce these words. But why are words so important? Words have the ability to kill, destroy, or bring love and growth. Words are powerful. Let me get this around here. Words are powerful. Words are deep, cutting. Words can bring comfort, and words also soothes. So where do you sit on the spectrum of using words? What words do you say to your children? What words do you use to motivate, inspire? What words do you say to your loved ones? What words do you say to your nearest and dearest? Are you a fire starter, or do you deactivate and demotivate people with the words that you use? Evening, Richard. We used to say a phrase at school, and everybody used to say, oh, it's sticks and stones may break my bones, but words don't. Well, it's true to a certain extent, because sticks and stones won't break your bones, but words break the heart, words break the spirit. Words have a real impact in people's lives. As I said, words can give life, words can take life. Words can demotivate, words can motivate. Good to see you as well, Brian, last night. Really good. And as always, before I go further with this, I always say to everybody that it's not that I have all the right answers. I don't. What I just love is debate and challenging people with discussions, and hopefully through the discussions other interactions will interact behind the scenes. But also when it is deep and meaningful discussions, the debate topics I choose, I really do research and looking from a biblical matter, but also from factuality. The words that someone speaks gives you a snapshot of the inner person. Mark and Andrew, much love and respect as always. Same to you as well, pal. So the words that someone speaks is a snapshot of their inner person. When somebody speaks, it really is coming from the inside of a person. Ches, how are you? It's coming from the inside of a person. So what you really do is getting a snapshot of what their true feelings are at that particular time towards you or whoever they're speaking to. And usually the words that are coming out of the person is from the heart. Sometimes it can be just let go. But there has to be some kind of thought related to the words that actually come out. There has to be some kind of feelings to the words that actually come out. Cuz, how are you? Jane says, I sometimes think I am saying the right thing, but after I have said it, I regret it, and I have said and feel guilty. And it's an interesting one, Jane, because we've all done it. Every single one of us have done it, has said things, and you want to hold your mouth, but the words have been let go. And sometimes when it's gone, it's too late to recall it back. But what I found is that sometimes when I've said things, my immediate reaction is to say, oh, I really didn't mean it, I'm so sorry. To try and literally grab it back and say, I am so sorry, I didn't really mean that. Now, of course, the word is gone, but sometimes through your actual action of trying to say, I'm sorry, hopefully the person will mean that, will know that you didn't really mean what you actually said. But once it's left your mouth, it is so hard to get it back. And this is now where the brain needs to engage with the mouth. And sometimes it's best to have a little discussion first with the brain before letting it out. Because once it's gone, it can do some real damage. And you're right, Bick, emotions do play a part. But that's when, as you get wiser and you get more experience, you understand that maybe when you're emotional, it might be not the best time to say certain things. Because are you talking from emotions, or are you talking from a real firm stance? And sometimes you can be right. You can be just being grumpy in a mood. But it doesn't make, just because you feel a certain way, that you are allowed to rub your grumpiness and moodiness on somebody else just because you feel grumpy and moody. If you feel grumpy or moody, you deal with your grumpy and moodiness. What you shouldn't feel is that you have a right, just because you feel a certain way, that you can affect somebody else's mood because you feel offish. That can't be right. Everyone says things in the heat of the moment and regret after. We've all said it, Brian, and I totally agree with that. Sometimes people take things the wrong way from what you mean. And therefore, Les, I think that's a discussion that you should have with somebody if they do take things the wrong way. I've been on numerous discussions where I've took things the wrong way. I've said things where people have took me the wrong way. But it's important that you are given the opportunity to clear that up, so that you do become to a level playing field where somebody understands, or at least gets where you're coming from. You may not be in agreement with that person, but you would like to think the person can understand the point from where you're coming from. I try to big up and encourage, motivate, teach self-belief in my children, respect manners, blagging people with Michael, that's brilliant. So the words that someone speaks sometimes is an inner snapshot of the person. And if you're on the receiving end of something, if you're on the receiving end of certain words, if somebody calls me a name, I don't care what mood you're in, I'm taking that as an offence. And I'm not going to go any further than the names that, and I will say it later in the talk. But if you call me a certain name, I'm not saying you're grumpy, I'm not saying you're moody. That's come from deep within. So you have to be very, very conscious of the words you use. And I think, Jane, the more spiritual you become, the more appropriate the certain words you use and choose to use. Simone, I'm going to understand something. And Simone, I'm good, I'm sorry most times for the D words that come out, but it comes out mostly when I'm depressed and the wrong person comes at the wrong time. It still doesn't validate, it still doesn't allow a person, just because somebody's walked in at the wrong time, for you to feel that you can chuck certain words at them and they don't feel a way. Just because I've got it off my chest, because I feel a certain way, but then I'm leaving that and I'm putting that on somebody else who then feels a way. So I think we have to be very choosy about the moods we're in. I think we have to be very choosy about the words we use when we're in certain moods. In the Bible, in the book of Matthew, it says, "But I tell you that everyone will have to give an account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned." That's the book of Matthew. Words have a prominent part to play in people's lives. Watch the words that come out of your mouth. We all make mistakes, and I'm not sitting there saying I don't. We all make mistakes, but I'm a lot more receptive and a lot more understanding and think a lot more about my choice of words. And sometimes my words have landed me in some hot water. But with experience, with reflection on certain things that I've said, then I started to understand that I need to engage this at times before engaging with this. And if I feel moody and I feel grumpy, then I might just detach myself from a certain situation. If I feel moody and I feel grumpy, I don't think it's acceptable for me to put my mood on and cloud somebody else's day, whether that's my wife, whether that's my children. I feel I have an obligation to snap out of any mood that I feel I've let myself in for, or somebody's put on me, and not pass it on to other people who don't deserve it. I struggle with finding the right words to say when answering somebody who has hurt me in their actions and words. And that's really interesting. I struggle to find the right words to say when answering someone who has hurt me in their action and words. And this is going to sound really difficult to say. And I remember even the Obamas saying it the other day, when certain people go low, you have to go high. You have to maintain your, as difficult as it may be, your dignity, your integrity, and be better than the person that has insulted you. And I think you find out about the person who said certain words, derogatory words to you, that person might not be the sort of person you should be around. That person might not be the person that you should be holding conversation with. And that might be that you might have to report somebody. You might have to just detach yourself away from certain people which are saying certain words and that nobody has to put up with. You shouldn't feel in a position that you have to put up with words that are affecting you, your standard of life. But I would encourage everybody not to react in a way that then puts you into hot water. Not to react in the way that the norm is to react. And it's hard and it's challenging. But it's rewarding when you do that. Brian's just put, I like the people who I'm around now. And I think that's one of the most pleasant things, is to be around like-minded people like yourself. We all communicate through words, every single one of us. The quality of words you use will either make you or break you. If you're in any doubt that the words used are received by the recipient, if you're any doubt that you've received certain words that you're not quite clear on, or you're in a particular prickly topic and you're saying something in the you know, as a private conversation, and the person might not be getting it, then you need to check to make sure that the person gets what you're saying without taking your conversation outside of you both and telling somebody to totally different wrong thing, because that's when it starts to get really messy. Sorry is a powerful word that can mend a person. And it's really, you're so right. We don't say sorry enough. A lot of people have too much pride and dignity and they're never wrong. But if you're wrong and you really mean it, and we've all done it, sometimes it pays dividends just to put your hand up and say, listen, I am so sorry for the words that I've used. And I promise you, I won't use those again. Rather than try and blag your way through it and people have a wrong perception of you as a person. People like to have the last word and know where to press the button. Then you are hurt and go away and cry. I think if you're in the wrong or not, I think to end the row is being humble and say sorry. But when we get back to this engine. Yeah, but Simone, don't drop your levels to suit anybody else. Just because somebody else is going somewhere, it doesn't mean you have to go gutter level. If you've got high standards, maintain your high standards. Don't allow somebody to bring you to gutter level just because they want to win arguments. You say your piece and hold your peace respectfully, but you don't have to go gutter level and start using certain words and languages because somebody else does. Now, respect your feminism, respect your dignity, your honesty, your integrity. Jane says she would love to help homeless people, whoever they are. I can't explain it. Mark Whitehouse. When I'm told I failed, and listen to that word, Mark, failed. You've not failed. See, this is what I'm saying about words. When I'm told I failed, that word gets to me like no other. You don't fail. You might not found the correct way to do something, but that doesn't mean you failed and it's a non-starter. There's certain people who have been millionaires who have tried 40, 50 times to get to a certain level and failed. But because of their aggressiveness to find a solution to the problem, they then find a solution and go on to be very successful business people, male and female. So don't let anybody box you and say that you failed. You've just simply not found the correct solution to the problem that whatever life has thrown at you. There is more than one way to skin a cat. You just need to find the correct way. Failed is a big statement. Nobody fails. Hi, Tony. So if the person goes and tells lies about a conversation you've had, you know where you stand. Somebody's lying blatantly about something you've said. You know that person you need to remove yourself from. It's sad, but it's true. You need to protect you. It's better to be open and honest about feelings that you have and tell the person outright, rather than the person who you might be talking about finds out from second, third or fourth wind, because you know it's not going to be the same as you said it to the first person. And you know what? Sometimes when you haven't got anything good to say, shut up. Stop gassing. Stop chatting. Some people talk for the sake of talking and talk themselves into real bother. Sometimes when you haven't got anything good to say, just be quiet. Zip. It's on the end of your tongue. I've got something like this. This is what I was taught. When you're in a conversation and you want to butt in a conversation, you want to jump in and just listen to the conversation, that's basically telling me to lock this. If anybody sees me do this, you know I want to jump in, you know I want to say something, but I ain't gonna. Because wisdom, experience has told me there has to be a time when you as an individual know that you need to lock your mouth. Because the minute you engage in a certain conversation you shouldn't be engaging in, call out certain names that you shouldn't call out, dig into somebody's past that you shouldn't dig into, then you might find yourself in problems. So before that happens, lock. Sometimes you can waste your words and your own breath on people who just don't value your input or just don't listen. I've come to realize that my breath is the most valuable thing to me. It signifies life, but it also unfortunately signifies death. So why am I going to waste this important thing on people who just don't care or value or want to listen to what I say? Brenda says, what if you have words? What if you have words? Then you shut your mouth and you walk away and they follow you and they carry on the argument, but it takes two to argue and you don't want to row. What then, Michael? You know my truthful opinion, Brenda? That's somebody I couldn't be around. I'm being honest, if you're facing that on a regular basis, that can't be good for you. If somebody doesn't respect the fact that you've removed yourself from the room, that you've kept your mouth quiet, that you don't want to argue, and they're backing you up into a corner, let me tell you this. If you keep backing a dog up into the corner, don't be surprised when the dog bites you. It's as simple as that. So before you bite, Brenda, or I bite, it might be best to go, do you know what? This ain't working. Because when I bite back, because of that whole situation, because what you're saying is, listen, I can't take this. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm going to remove myself from this room and just leave you to calm down. Stephanie says, think before you speak. Silence is goldenness. Forgiveness is divine. Over words spoken in emotional ego outbursts. I totally agree. Great statement, Steph. So I've come to realize that my breath is the most valuable thing. It signifies life and death. And I'm not going to waste that on people that don't value or cherish. I'm going to lock my mouth. This is how deep this is. So in the beginning of the book of Genesis, this is how words brought life and death. This is in the very beginning in Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God saw the light, that it was good, and divided the light from the darkness. And God said, let there be light. That's deep. God said, let there be light. The opening chapter of the Bible. I only talk of you now. I only talk of you what you know, what you're talking about. Looking at it. I think I found myself digging into the past of my husband before we got married, and I would not give up until he told me what he had gone on. 7 years later, he still reminds me to stop digging. And I have learned, as you put it, to shut up and listen. I have found myself digging into the past of my husband before we got married, and I would not give up until he told me what he had gone on. 7 years later, he still reminds me to stop digging. And I have learned, as you put it, to shut up and listen. I think sometimes, and I said it last week, you have to let go of the past. Especially when you are in agreement with somebody that you're going to move on. Then move on. Stop digging up in the past, because if you keep looking around, you don't look forward. You've got to learn from the past, educate yourself from the past, but keep moving forward. And this is the problem with a lot of people. They don't let go of the past. The past is in the past, but the past shouldn't prevent you from having a good future. I'm going to say this: parents, talk good over your children, build them up, encourage them. Say words like, you're so clever, you make it look so easy, you're so fast, so skillful, you're really good at that. I really believe you can do and achieve anything that you want. This is true, this is true. Our greatest ever Olympian, Jessica Ennis, applied for a grant at 12-year-olds from Sport England. When she was asked why she needed the money as a 12-year-old, her response by her parents on the letter was, this was at 12 years old, it will help me achieve my ambitions to become an Olympic champion. She said this at 12. She said this at 12. Such is the power of words spoken over her life by her own self. At 12 years old, she wanted to become an Olympic champion. Years later, she became one of the greatest Olympic athletes that's ever walked this earth. Prophesize over your loved ones. Take back control and instill inner belief with the possibility that they can achieve anything. Plant your young trees, your children, firmly with solid roots built within the dirt. Talk well of your children. Don't badmouth your children. Don't tell them that they won't amount to anything. Don't tell them that you can't do this. Don't tell them you remind me of your dad when he left 10, 15 years ago. Hopeless this. Waste a bag of... Don't tell them that. Tell them that they're a princess. Tell them that they're king. Tell them that they're royalty. Tell them that they can achieve anything. Tell them that you will support them through whatever they want to do. There is no change. There is nothing bounding a child from doing whatever they can. Talk positivity into your child's life, into your relationship. Don't allow people to put you in boxes. Don't allow that person who says you're a failure to put you in a box and you believe that all your life. No. Don't allow a teacher to tell you can only get a D or an E. No. You can get a C or a B or an A. Words can define people. If a parent tells a child that they can get a D or an E, then why are you going to be surprised when your child comes out with a D or an E? That's what you told them. And they've met the expectations of what you've told them. Why not an A? Why not a B? Why not strive to be the best that they can be? Why not a doctor? Why not a lawyer? Why not a solicitor? Why not a pilot? Why not a midwife, a nurse? Why not? Why not a top dancer, actor? And don't use your past because you failed to then push that onto the child. Encourage them. Encourage your loved ones. Speak good into your relationship. Speak life. Fertilize your tree. Plant your trees with solid roots embedded in the dirt. And then when the storms of life comes, they're going to be stable. They're going to be strong because of the words you've inputted at such a young age. Words that you've inputted into your marriage, into your relationship. That when the test of time of life comes, the leaves might blow left, they might blow right, but if you can see the bottom of the hand is stable. And that is stable because of the roots that you've embedded as a parent. The culture, the core belongings of that young person are within them. The words are so important. Words are so important. So important, the words that you use. Certain children will remember things from 5, 6 years old for the rest of their life. And this is where if you say something, and I've said certain things, and I've had to be humble enough as a parent, as a husband, to go back and go, I got that wrong. Because we will all fall short of the grace of God. We all fall short. But life encourages me that you have a second chance. But equally, as God created, equally words can be destructive. The devil used cunning words to trick mankind. Listen to this. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Words. Sentence, did God really say? But God did say you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it or you will die. Words. He's used words, twisted it, manipulated them. Eve took the negative words on board, and God's plan for mankind was stunted by the words of the devil. He used them to trick Eve. And the final part for tonight is the listening. Because you must listen to the words. Because words are important. Some of the words I hear in some of the music today is really divisive. It's humiliating. It's cheap. It's tacky. Tacky, rubbish. Some of the words I listen to and hear, and particularly against women. Some of the words in the songs should be banned. Still there. Some of the words in the songs should be banned. Why don't they sing about education, life, health, love, food, sport, business? Why don't they sing against good things like that? But instead, I hear so many derogatory songs. Here, listening. Words people use in the songs. Drugs, bitches, niggers, hoes, guns, gangsters, casual sex. Yeah, I said some of those words because we all hear them in the songs. But they are so derogatory. They are so wrong. But you have to think, why certain words are allowed to remain in certain songs and it played at most times during the days? Is it a coincidence that our youth are struggling to find their identity of who they are? Is it coincidence that most young girls feel like trophies? Is it coincidence that a lot of young boys are caught up in gangs? In the book of Proverbs, it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything flows from it. Words come from the inner. Brenda says, wish my mother didn't rob me of my childhood, Michael. I was a battered child by her bones broken. What came out of her mouth was foul language calling me spastic. I brought myself up and the name she called me wasn't nice. I gave everything under the sun. Brenda, honestly, you're an amazing woman. I'm telling you that you are an amazing woman. To come through what you've come through and to be the person that you are, amazing. And the experiences that you've had, Brenda, I know that you've twisted that for the good of your children. You've spun your life around. You've not waltzed into another relationship with all that. Because I know you as a person. And for you to say that, my God. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything that flows from it comes out the wellspring of your heart. If you're going to call me a name, it's not just flippant, that's in you. If you're going to show me love and care, that's not flippant, that's in you. My wife turns around and tells me she loves me. She tells me she loves me because it's from within. When I tell my children I love them, it's from within. And equally, when you show somebody disrespect, when you show somebody a race attitude, sexuality, when you show those characteristics, you better believe that's from within. But from within will come out. The words you use are a portrait of your upbringing, the words used around you, the friends that you roll with, the music, the films, the video games, the films that you watch. It all contributes to who you are. And this will eventually manifest itself in the words that you choose to use. If you live in Italy, you're going to speak Italian. If you drink water, it has to come out of you. If you eat rubbish, you're going to visit the toilet. It has to come out. Whatever you put in will eventually start to come out with you. So be careful of what goes in. That's why the Bible says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Guard what comes in to your heart. And this is why the Bible's so awesome. A statement like that means so much. God. It didn't say just casually. It says guard your heart, for everything. Everything. Not a little bit. Everything you do flows from it. The words you speak come from the kind of person you are. Speak well, the kind of person you are. Speak love, kind of person you are. Speak violence. Don't be fooled by good looks. Don't be fooled by that. Looks are shallow. We all age. But if you've got a good inner person that never ages, find me that all day long. I found that. Not find me, I found that. All day long. So be careful with what you put in and guard what is inputted into your children, as this will form the next generation. Listen carefully to the words and choose to not let foolishness go in. Don't hold on to words. Don't let anybody define who you are. Don't let anybody box you are through words. Teachers, no, you can achieve, you can inspire, you can aspire to be anything and anyone. Don't let a husband tell you that you're no good. Don't let a wife tell you that you're a piece of no. Don't let people pull you down. If you deserve to be pulled down, it's different. But even then, there's only so far that can go. But don't let people rule your life. Don't let you reach 60, 70, 80 years old and you wish you'd have gone this. You wish you'd have done this. You wish. Nah. Can't happen. There's too many people, and I spoke about it, who are, the last wishes are, I wish I'd have done this. I wish, no. You got one kick at life, make it a good one. I'm nearly finished, I'm nearly there. My granddad's got a great saying. He always says to me, and I say it in Jamaican, boy, don't take your ears make dustbin. Don't take your ears make a dustbin. That's what he says to me. Basically, don't use your ears and let people put rubbish in there. You speak rubbish? Is it really? Oh. In, out. I'm not going to get involved in your conversation. I'll be respectful to it, but it'll be, oh, you joke, really? Oh. But I ain't getting involved in it because it's rubbish and you ain't lodging it in here. I choose what I choose to hold, and I will reject what I choose to reject. I spoke about friends last week. I know the friends and the family that I choose to hold information from. I also know the acquaintances that I choose to hold information on. But I also know those that I need to lock. And I also know those that I need to go. Oh my word. Ooh. I'm going to finish with this. Book of Psalms says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation, let the words of my mouth and the meditation, what's going off? What is this like? Of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Powerful sentence to finish on. I'll see you one day, Brenda. But this is just a powerful platform. So many people are going through so many situations in life that you just don't know on a daily basis. And sometimes people that have nowhere to go and talk, vent, to seek advice. This is why I'm driven to keep doing this. Driven. It just, honestly, it cuts me in half sometimes when I hear people say certain things, what they say on it. But I'm telling you now, there's a God that knows. He knows, Brenda, and you know. And those that don't know, I hope you get to know. I always say, am I going to put my belief in Trump? Trump, Putin, May, Euro. I know what I know. And I just pray that you guys have a great week again. Pray that this has been edifying, that has helped, that those that have used words will think about the words that they choose to use in future, will also choose to decide from which words they will keep, which words you'll input into your children, your loved ones, talk positivity into your children, your loved ones. Those that have been spoken into a negative manner, don't take on board and don't hold anything that you don't want to hold. Let it go. Don't let it pull you down. You can be and achieve and do whatever you want to do. And don't let words decide what God has in store for you. As always, God bless you. God keep you. God make his face to shine down upon you and give you peace. If you like this video, please share. And I will catch you next week. I will upload what the next subject is going to be. So hopefully this has been edifying. Brenda, you know I've got nothing but love for you. And all you what have watched, nothing but love for you. Have a great week and we shall talk soon. God bless.